This one mistake is making your child more stubborn. The more you try to make your child listen, the more they resist as you say, "Come here." They say, "No." You repeat yourself. They ignore you. You raise your voice, and somehow they become even more stubborn. At that moment, it feels personal. It feels like your child is doing this on purpose, like they're testing you, challenging you, pushing your limits just to see when you'll break. But what if that's not true? What if your child is not naturally stubborn, but is becoming stubborn because of one small mistake? A mistake you're likely making every single day. A mistake that feels normal, even necessary. But it is quietly turning simple moments into war zones. Because here's what most parents don't realize. The more controlled a child feels, the more their brain is biologically wired to push back. Without knowing it, you might be creating the exact behavior you're trying to stop. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. The story of Daniel and Noah. A father named Daniel shared a story about his 4-year-old son, Noah. It happens every morning. The shoe struggle. It's time to get ready for school. Daniel says, "Noah, go put your shoes on." Noah doesn't move. He's on the floor playing with a toy car. He's completely absorbed. Daniel repeats himself a little louder. "Noah, I said put your shoes on. We're going to be late." Still nothing. Now the frustration starts building in Daniel's chest. He walks over. He looms over his son. "Why are you not listening? Come on, let's go." Noah looks up. He doesn't look scared. He looks defiant. He says one word. "No." Suddenly, it's a battle. Daniel tries to force it. "Stop this right now and put your shoes on, or no TV tonight." Noah pushes back even harder. He throws the shoe across the room. He crosses his arms. He starts whining, then screaming. What should have taken 30 seconds turns into a 20-minute meltdown. By the end of it, Daniel is exhausted. He's thinking, why is my child so difficult? Why does everything have to be a fight? But here's the part Daniel didn't see. It wasn't about the shoes. It wasn't even about Noah not listening. Something deeper was happening in that room. And once you understand it, you will never look at stubbornness the same way again. The big mistake, the control monopoly. The mistake Daniel made, and the mistake most of us make, is this: the control monopoly. We believe our job is to manage our children. We view the day as a series of commands. Eat this. Wear that. Sit still. Hurry up. We hold 100% of the decision-making power. We have a monopoly on control. But human beings have a biological, desperate need for autonomy. From the moment a child realizes they are a separate person, they start craving the ability to choose. When you create a control monopoly, you back your child into a corner. To them, saying no isn't about being bad. It's about survival. It's the only tool they have to prove they exist. They aren't trying to give you a hard time. They are trying to have a say. The science of the lockup. To understand why this mistake makes them more stubborn, we have to look at the brain. Think of the brain in two parts. The upstairs brain is the rational part. It handles logic. It handles empathy. It handles listening. The downstairs brain is the primitive part. It's the amygdala, the fight, flight, or freeze center. When Daniel loomed over Noah and yelled, Noah's upstairs brain went offline. He literally could not process the logic of being late for school. His amygdala took over. It sensed a threat. And when the amygdala takes over, there are only two options: submit or fight. A stubborn child is simply a child whose fight response is working well. They feel pushed, so they push back. When you double down on your command, when you use threats, when you yell, you are pouring gasoline on a primitive fire. You are training their brain to stay in fight mode. You are making them more stubborn by making them feel less safe. The boss analogy. Think of it like this. Imagine you're at work. Imagine a boss who follows you around all day. Type faster. Don't use that font. Sit up straight. Take your lunch break now, not in 10 minutes. Even if the instructions are reasonable, how would you feel? You'd feel irritated. You'd feel small. Eventually, you'd start resisting. You'd work slower. You'd forget tasks. You'd find small ways to say no, just to feel like you still have a soul. That is exactly what your child is feeling. The difference is, you have the logic to control your reaction. Your child doesn't. They only have the number. The CEO trait. Reframing the fight. Before we fix this, we need to change how you see your child. We treat stubbornness like a defect. We worry it means they'll be a troublemaker. But look at the data. Long-term studies have followed stubborn children for 40 years. Do you know what they found? The kids who were the most defiant, the ones who challenged their parents the most, became the most successful adults. They became the highest earners, the leaders, the innovators. Why? Because stubbornness is just tenacity without a steering wheel. It's the ability to say no to peer pressure. It's the drive to keep going when things get hard. Your child isn't broken. They are practicing a leadership skill. They just don't know how to use it yet. Your job isn't to break their will. If you break their will, you aren't raising an obedient child. You're raising an adult who can't stand up for themselves. Your job is to coach their will. The solution: how to create cooperation. So, how do we stop the control monopoly? How do we turn the battle into a partnership? It's simpler than you think, but it requires you to give up a little bit of power to get a lot of peace. 1. Turn commands into choices. Stop saying, "Put your shoes on." That is a demand. It invites a no. Instead, try bounded autonomy. "We're leaving soon. Do you want to wear your blue sneakers or your red ones?" The outcome is the same. The shoes go on. But the process is different. Noah feels like he has power. He has to use his upstairs brain to make a decision. The resistance vanishes because there is nothing to fight against. 2. Connection before direction. We often yell commands from across the room, or we interrupt them while they are in the zone. When Noah was playing with his car, he was working. To a child, play is work. When Daniel yelled from the doorway, he was interrupting Noah's flow. Instead, walk over, get down on their level, put a hand on their shoulder, enter their world for 30 seconds. Wow, that's a fast car. Where's it going? Once you've connected, then you give the direction. In 2 minutes, we need to put that car in the garage and put on our shoes. Connection settles the amygdala. It makes them feel safe enough to listen. 3. The power of how. When you're stuck in a stalemate, stop being the boss. Become a consultant. Say, "We have a problem. We need to go to Grandma's, but these toys are still on the floor. How should we solve this?" You'd be surprised when you hand the control monopoly over to the child. They often suggest a better solution than you would have. They might say, "I'll put the cars away, you put the blocks away." Now it's a team. It's not you versus them. It's us versus the problem. 4. The 6-second validation. When they say no, don't fight the no. Validate the feeling behind it. "I hear you. You really don't want to stop playing. It's hard to stop when you're having fun, isn't it?" Then pause. Stay there for 6 seconds. This tells their brain, "I am not an enemy. I understand you." Validation is the off switch for stubbornness. 5. Stay calm, stay firm. If you match their intensity, you lose. If they are at a level 10 of anger, and you meet them at a level 10, the amygdala hijack is complete. Stay at a level 2. Be the thermostat, not the thermometer. Don't reflect their heat. Set the temperature of the room. You can be firm without being mean. You can stay steady while they are stormy. The long-term shift. Every small moment, getting dressed, cleaning up, brushing teeth, it is not just about behavior. It is about the relationship you are building. If every interaction is a power struggle, Your child will grow up thinking that love is about control. They will learn that to be heard, they have to be difficult. But when you shift from control to cooperation, everything changes. The yelling stops. The brick wall starts to crumble. Your child doesn't become perfect. They're still kids. They will still test you, but they will become flexible. They will learn that they don't have to fight you to be a person. They learn that their voice has value. And because their voice has value, they can finally afford to listen to yours. Closing. Think about this tomorrow morning. When that first no comes out, take a breath. Remember, they aren't trying to give you a hard time. They are having a hard time. Drop the monopoly, share the power, and watch how fast that stubborn child becomes your greatest partner. If you want parenting strategies that actually work in real life and help you raise a calm, confident leader, follow for more.